Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. It's that holiday season again. You get Thanksgiving and then whatever you celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, it doesn't matter. But every year, around this time, I buy this model of guitar. And it's something I always look forward to because it just seems to be whenever I can find a deal on this model. So for me, Christmas means this guitar model right here. But first I gotta tell you the story about this one. I found it on eBay and it was kind of a fishy seller. I mean, he seemed like a stand-up guy, but he was complaining of people keep backing out on the sale of this thing. So that's usually kind of a red flag to me because maybe there's a reason they're backing out. And it appears we have a blanket here. Hopefully it's not a moldy blanket, it's just kind of a ugly green and brown color. I'm sure I can find some use for it. But it's kind of a homemade box. I don't know if I would necessarily ship anything internationally with a box like this, but I don't think I will be reusing this for a guitar. I might send a case out if I was shipping that, but whatever the guy had handy, it works out for my Christmas celebration. But anyways, after I paid the asking price for this one, because I didn't want to, go through the hassle of the auction, a week or two went by and I didn't have a valid tracking number. Like, one was provided within 3 days, but he must have mistyped it or something. So I sent him a question. It's like, hey, do you have a valid tracking number for this purchase? And still to this day, I haven't heard from him, but he eventually did update it to the correct one. Surprise, surprise, on the date of delivery. So that wasn't too helpful for calming my nerves of it not being a scam or whatnot. But so far, it looks like I was sent the guitar that I was supposed to get. And it is cold now for shipping, so you gotta make sure you wait at least a day. I almost wait 3 days sometimes, just to be sure, because finish checking, especially on new guitars, can be very detrimental to the value. So what is my Christmas guitar? Les Paul Artisan. This is beautiful. Some of these, you can find them. They have really nice little tops to them. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. One of the TP6 fine tuner tailpiece things came off during shipping. And that one was almost ready to come out. I will just go ahead and take that off and fix that a bit later. This one has some decent little figuring to the maple top. But yes, the Les Paul Artisan. It just seems that every Christmas I find one of these things. So I've just kind of deemed them my Christmas guitar, and for another good reason. One of these was used in the Kinks' Father Christmas video. So ever since I learned that, I just always associate these things with Christmas. But I'll save some more of this talk for when I do the review and demo on this one. But the problem with Les Paul Artisans, what's kind of scared me away, is I had one that had a twisted neck. And this is the part where I thought, I should probably check this one too. Christmas was ruined this year. Unfortunately, this one has a twist. Sometimes you gotta see if it's just in the headstock, but I guess I might have to talk to the seller about this. I'll try to do it so you guys can see it. We'll see if it's because the truss rod. Well, the truss rod's good. It's got adjustability left, which I can tell it definitely needs a slight adjustment right there. So the relief's looking better, but you still have that twist. We'll see how that pans out.
6 days went by from me notifying the seller of the issue. Still haven't heard back from him, so I had to escalate this to an eBay case, which kind of had me worried because eBay's not always the best at deciding not as described cases. But to my surprise, within a half hour of me escalating it, they said if he doesn't give me a return label within 5 days, they'll go ahead and send me one. So credit where credit's due, eBay did me better on this example. And just as I was finished editing this episode, I finally heard from the guy. He was irate at me and said a twisted neck is normal if it's been played for 50 years. These are the sellers I hate to deal with.
And our second unboxing of the day is our sponsored unboxing. You guys didn't like the last sponsor too much, but I think you guys will like this one. It's Native Sons Goods. Now, if you're anything like me, you've heard of this company before because you've happened to watch the Guitologist's channel like once or twice. They seem to have some sort of ongoing relationship here. And this company actually reached out to me because somebody said that I brought them business and they wanted to thank me for that. And it's like, yeah, I don't think I've talked about you guys before. So it just kind of turned into an opportunity to sponsor this little giveaway for you guys. So in order to win one of their straps, all you have to do is like the video and subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. Let's make the comment something about their strap. And I believe this one's actually open worldwide, so it's not just, you know, within the US for this one, so everybody can play with this one. So this is a guitar strap company, but they make a bunch of different stuff. Here, let's go ahead and check out their website. You can see all the different guitar straps they have. They have camera straps, and I've always kind of been curious about them because of the Guitologist's advertising and things like that. But I've got to say, first impression, look at this. This looks like a very fancy little treat. I could unwrap this on Christmas and actually be very happy with it. They have very good product appeal with just how it's packaged. And that's saying something here. So they've sent me, it looks like 2 guitar straps and a camera strap. So we'll start with this one here. Because on top of the giveaway that they're doing, they also have a 10% off code. I'll put that on the screen here. Man, this is very professional stuff here. That's cool. So here's our first one. It's nice and shiny. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. Not all cloth kind of gives that sparkle and shine to it. Now, I personally like straps that have more of like a leather feel to the outside, but on the inside they're more cloth-like. So this one, I can definitely tell that it's a very gripping strap. I mean, it's hard to really describe this without you guys trying it too. I feel like this might help with some neck divey guitars due to all the textures to it. Nothing really to mention as far as what it smells like, so nothing bad, nothing crazily good. It doesn't smell like vanilla or anything. Yeah, that's a nice little quality strap right here. And they offer these in a plethora of price ranges, so I'm guessing this is one of their more deluxe straps, the wider one. This one's kind of a cool fruity flavor. Ooh, I like that. It's kind of more of a red magenta color as compared to this one that's more of like an orange color. Oh yeah, that's a super wide strap. That's good for your heavy Norland era Les Pauls. I will say this one actually feels slightly softer than that other one. I think it's just this outside material. Once again, kind of hard to see it, but yeah, that feels pretty comfortable. But I'll let you guys in on a secret. I actually have like a whole drawer full of straps, so while yes, I will still use these, I'm most excited for the camera strap he sent me. I've been doing a lot more of that B-roll footage, and I really need a good camera strap to help me get it, you know, stabilized like this. So I will definitely be getting some good use out of this. I'm definitely digging the color scheme on this one. This reminds me of like a dragon or something that you would see on a talisman or a scroll. That's cool. And it looks like they also sent me a little shirt. Cool. And on the back of the shirt, you have a larger emblem right there. So thank you, Native Sons, for sending this stuff to me. I was only expecting one, but I'll definitely get some good use out of these. And if you're not ready to buy today, I think they said that coupon code is good until the end of the year. And here's the options that were sent to me. The Luna, Eros, and Agave. And now we've got 2 more unboxings. These are actually 2 guitars that were traded for 1 guitar that we have to pack up at the end of this episode. I won't spoil that yet. But I've actually done a trade with this guy before. And that was when I got that Fender Prodigy and that, you know, rather beat up Effector Les Paul. Which that video actually ended up getting pretty good views despite, you know, some of the filter caps needing to be replaced and whatnot and having a replaced neck. But this just happened to work out really well because these are 2 models, one of which I've been looking for a while because almost nobody knows about this Les Paul model, and the other one is something that people have been asking me to do a review on. So, we need to find which one this is. Alright, so this is the model that not everybody knows about that I've been searching for. The problem is this one was a little bit more beat up than I wanted to buy for the review and demo, but it just kind of worked out with the trade. So inside here is a Les Paul from the late 70s. This one is called the Les Paul SM. They're very rare, and I don't want to spoil too much because, I want to do the review and demo of this one. But it's basically like a baby 25 50th anniversary Les Paul, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And the reason why I wanted to pass on this one is, first off, it's a factory second. It's got the finish kind of worn off the back of the neck, which collectors don't like. And at the same time, I was hoping to find the silver burst version of one of these. But first impressions, dang, this neck. It's massive in comparison to a 2550. I mean, this neck is actually larger than most Norland era Les Pauls at this time. So that's kind of an interesting little trait here. But the rest I will save for the full review and demo because these are very interesting beasts. And just for some more fun information here while I'm checking the guitar over, this guitar has actually been passed around a little bit. At some point in time it lost its original case because it had a chainsaw case, but it came to me with this aftermarket one. But I've got a bunch of chainsaw cases if that's a make or break thing for you after I'm done reviewing it. But good, I love to look in a truss rod cavity and not be immediately disappointed, and our neck looks good, so I'm happy with this. And then that means this is the newer Gibson guitar that some people have been wanting me to review because I've been talking about single pickup guitars. I'll be honest, just looking at these things on the internet, I'm not all that impressed. I mean, I get the whole single pickup thing. It works on some guitars and not so well on others. I personally prefer the single P90 guitars over the humbuckers, but this is one of the humbucker versions. But I think why people want me to do a review on this model is because, it's a relatively inexpensive guitar. So inexpensive that we get a Gibson gig bag, and I'm pretty sure that's what it came with originally. So just in case you haven't guessed it already, what is inside of this? This little goofy thing. It's called the Les Paul CM, and there's actually a big story behind this model that only came out about like 6 or 8 months ago. So this will probably take me a while to produce the video because maybe I'll just recreate that story. But, it's a thinner Les Paul than normal. It's got some contours to it. It's just a wraparound bridge with a single humbucker. And yeah, unfortunately we have robo-tuners to deal with. And it's from 2015, but it's one of those 2015s that has the normal neck width. So yeah, you guys can stop messaging me. I'll do the Les Paul CM. But now the big question, what did I get these guitars in trade for? It's this one of my Fenders. It is the Ultra Stratocaster, and this trade's been kind of a nightmare because I feel bad that I haven't really shipped this out on time. It's because I noticed that the pickups weren't what they were actually supposed to be, so we had to wait until we heard back from Fender to see if those were correct, and they are. It's just a super early iteration that only the earliest Ultras ever have. Then after I published the review and found the small issues with the nut, how it kind of does that pinging sound, I mean, the top strings kind of do it too, but not as badly. And then we found that small dent on the fretboard. We were talking about, should I return this one to Musician's Friend and get a different one? But I honestly didn't want to do that because I already made the video about this one. It's kind of a dirty move to return a guitar, but I don't know, maybe Musician's Friend will compensate me in some way. But we eventually just decided on just throwing $100 on top of this guitar to get those other ones to, make it worth his while to set this guitar back up the way he wants. And some people during the review of this one, they said that the trem bar was like way too high on this thing, but yet there were other people that said that's how they're supposed to be. That's how a certain famous guy does it. I don't know if it's a difference between the 2-point adjustment versus the 6, but the only thing I did string-wise is I changed the bottom E and then this top one, but those were 10-gauge strings, so yeah, I have some things to learn about setting up Fenders and things like that, but all the Fenders I've had previous to this day, they all kind of stick up like that, so I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm going to go ahead and pack this one up for him. This was actually a consignment piece, and I'm so happy the guy sent this thing in. Beautiful Spotlight Nouveau. I learned so much doing the research on this guitar, and honestly, I might have actually priced it a little bit too low. It took less than 2.5 hours to sell, but this is definitely a beautiful piece of Gibson, Epiphone, as well as kind of PRS history, so definitely check out this video in case you missed it. But this Spotlight is just fantastic. But if you're interested in consigning a guitar with me, I charge $150 for the video, which I know that seems a little bit extreme, but if you really calculate it out, that's less than minimum wage almost for me. And then I do a 10% commission on the final sales price. So you can check out more info on that on my website. So I don't know why I'm shutting it up. We need to pack it up.
I hope you enjoyed the stories that were shared today and enjoyed seeing the boxing and unboxings, but we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.